Welcome back to Everyday Eats with Michele. Today I'm going to show you how to make my version of stuffed peppers. The inspiration behind this dish as well as the full recipe will be found on our blog. Let's get started. You'll want to start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees and make sure your rack is in the middle position. Then we can move on to making our rice. I'm using a basmati rice today because it has a long grain and cooks up nice and fluffy. I've got a cup of rice here and I'm going to add 2 cups of water. It's probably going to make too much rice, and I'm fine with that because I'd rather have too much rice than not enough. You could probably get away with a half cup to maybe 3/4 of a cup of rice, and you'd still have plenty for this recipe. While your rice is cooking, let's move on to our peppers. You can use whatever kind of pepper you like, really. I prefer the bell peppers, whereas Chris prefers things a little bit spicier. Big shock there. So he's going to get the Hungarian wax peppers. For the bell peppers, I cut them in half and pull out the seeds. You could just cut the tops off the bell peppers, but I found they don't always stand up well on their own, so cutting them in half has worked best for me. For the Hungarian peppers, you're going to want to cut the top off, and then use your knife to make a slit from the top all the way down to the bottom. Pry it open gently, and then scrape out your seeds, because as we all know, the heat lives in those seeds. If you wanted a little extra spicy, go ahead and leave some of those seeds in. Another tip, wash your hands after you're done seeding, because if you don't and you, rub your eyes, it's gonna burn. Trust me, I've done it. Next, you're gonna arrange your peppers in a foil-lined baking dish. Mine's 13 by 9. It's kind of a puzzle to figure out how they're gonna fit best, especially if you're using different kinds of peppers like I am. If you're just using bell peppers, you can just line them up in 2 rows. Simple, easy, done. Then you're going to roast your peppers in that 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. This will allow your peppers to start to soften up just a little bit. While the peppers are roasting, let's make the filling. You're going to heat a large skillet over medium-high heat. Once your pan is nice and hot, add your 1 pound of ground beef, break it up a little bit with your wooden spoon, cook it until almost all of the pink is gone. We're going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we can move on to our cream cheese. Once the cream cheese is all melted and incorporated into the beef, we can add our Parmesan cheese. This is between a half and 3/4 of a cup. I've literally never measured this before for this recipe, so we'll see how this works. I highly doubt it will be too much. If anything, it'll be too little. Now we can add in the rice. You might have a little extra left over, and that's totally fine. I would recommend adding it into your beef mixture a scoop at a time. Giving it a stir, you want to end up with a nice ratio of meat to rice. Once you've got that all incorporated, turn your heat off and let it just hang out until we're ready to fill our peppers. To make the sauce, you'll need 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce, a few grinds of sea salt and fresh black pepper, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon of each will be more than enough, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir that all together, set it off to the side. Now it's time to fill our peppers. Be generous with your filling. You can almost overstuff them. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. It'll take you a whole lot less time if you use both the spoon and your hands to get this accomplished. Once you've got your peppers all filled, take that sauce that we made earlier and pour that right over the top of all of your peppers. You can use the spoon to help you spread it around, get everything covered. Once your sauce is all nicely blanketing your peppers, now's the time to grate some more of that fabulous Parmesan cheese right over the top of it, as much or as little as you want. If you even want to leave it off, I guess that would be okay. I don't know why you would want to do that, but it's an option. Once you've added that extra layer of cheese, we're going to put our peppers back in that 400-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes just to warm things back up. The sauce will get nice and bubbly, and the cheese will get nice and melted. There you have it. My version of stuffed peppers. Maybe it'll become your version of stuffed peppers too. Saucy, cheesy, little hint of garlic, and if you're using those spicy peppers, a little bit of heat as well. This is the perfect time of year to take advantage of fresh local produce to help you make this dinner. And the leftovers are amazing. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.